Everyone is talking about CM Punk. Everyone is talking about that CM Punk media scrum. And ladies and gentlemen, I am here to do the same again. Look, AEW has done really well with the media scrum since they first started out, especially after each pay-per-view, adding significance to these moments where title matches, have these endings where you want to hear more about, or you just want to hear about the business side of, things that happen backstage. Whether you want more story or you want real life, scenarios and what went down to get these things done, the media scrum that AEW provides ultimately settles that score. But for some time, these media scrums have been getting a little heated, a little too heated, if you will. And All Out 2022 was no different. This was actually one of the most heated media scrums I've seen AEW produce. And the fact that they didn't cut away, they didn't cut the camera, they didn't send security to escort talent off the stage, makes me feel like all of this is all set up. All right. Now, there is some truth to these things. Obviously, that's what makes it gripping and exciting television, right? CM Punk expressing himself like no tomorrow. Talking about Colt Cabana, which for whatever reason, social media is still fascinated by that story. But also going off on Hangman Adam Page and that championship match and that whole feud and buildup. Name dropping, the EVPs. Those are all things that generate clicks. And AEW has done a fantastic job to stay relevant during this Triple H infusion into the wrestling industry. What do you mean, Lex? Well, WWE has ultimately taken over as a social media darling. AEW was where the cool kids were, right? Now it's WWE with Triple H leading the ship. How do you turn that attention and bring it onto your company? Now, like I said, I'm not sure if this is all planned. I'm thinking some of it is, like bullet points. Now, if things got a little too heated and became a little too real, that's a possibility too. But ultimately, when you sit down and analyze all the stuff that we're reading online, all it's doing is making us want to tune in to Dynamite, Rampage, and whatever pay-per-view they got going on next. Think about it. The whole, MJF is not going to show up to face Wardlow situation, and then he no-sold the match. That made that moment far bigger than it could have been, especially when it was going to be a squash match, right? Because it made people want to tune in, and that's all they're trying to do. They're trying to get your attention. Now, if this is real, and Keith Lee, Swerve Scott, some of the others that have expressed themselves, along with CM Punk, right? And even Tony Khan saying, I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not going to let this happen. Like, the way that Tony Khan has addressed the WWE stuff and the way he's handled these things just seems very unprofessional. And it's year 3, guys. Right? It's year 3. He's on his way to his 4th year, and he's making rookie mistakes this deep into the process. It just doesn't really add up. That's the thing. And I don't know if I can buy all of it. Now, maybe the Bucks getting mad for real being a serious issue? Yeah, for sure. I'm really only talking about the CM Punk stuff. Now, one thing that I'm reading is he got injured backstage, supposedly. Is that even true? I'm making these videos to get you guys thinking, to see how maybe you can convince me otherwise, because I'm not fully convinced that this is all real. It's 2022. The locker room is filled with people, and everyone has a cell phone in hand. I don't know. People are saying that these things are not coming to light and videos are not leaking and wrestlers are not coming forward because of the contracts that they have, and they can't go beyond, certain parameters in terms of revealing what goes on behind the scenes, which is obvious. They can't reveal all these negative things that can potentially hurt the brand. But if all this was true, don't you think that Warner Media would step in and try to, get the ship under control? How many times haven't we heard, when WWE, as big as they are, how many times haven't we heard that Fox has stepped in and has made demands, or that the USA Network has stepped in and made demands? The only demand we've heard thus far from Warner Media is that they want AEW to tone down the language. That's about it. CM Punk is champion. He seems pretty darn happy to be champion. The best CM Punk we've ever seen is a rebel CM Punk. I'm not sure this media scrum is all that real. Hit me up down below. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.